Welcome to another episode of my Zero to Hero journey. This time, we are sending through fractals. Oh yes, we are grinding the fractals quite hard in this episode, and we are also finally achieving full ascended gear. So be sure to watch the whole video to know how I actually achieve all of that. As always, special shout out to all my dear supporters that help me keep the lights on. And don't forget to check out the description if you want to see every single minute of my live streams. There is a playlist down below, as well as a playlist to all my edited videos, such as this one here. And of course, if you like this video, be sure to leave a like. And if you want to see more content like this, don't forget to subscribe. But now, without much further ado, let's jump straight in. This is, I'm not joking. This amulet here is an ascended amulet with stat selectable conditions. So you can select any stats that exist in the game that you have the expansion for, and you just need to invest 33 gold or something. That's it. And I already have this on this account, and there's nothing, no currency, nothing that you need for that. Just 33 gold. That's it. Everything else is not important. So where is this? Where can I get this? Here. So I will purchase this thing for 25 Shards of Glory. Okay, purchase it. Then I need 50 Shards of Glory, which you can get all from the trading post. You don't have to have any PvP experience or anything for that. You just go to this vendor, purchase it, nothing else. You just get this for 50. Then you get the next thing for 75. And then you get the last thing for 100. And then that's all that you need. That's all that you need here. And then you just go to the Mystic Forge. Really, that's the whole thing here. So let's go to Lion's Arch and just like throw everything that I have here in the Mystic Forge. That's really like the whole idea here is to just put them, the things that I just got. So Mystic, the Essence of Determination. Yep, there we go. And some blood. 20 vials of powerful blood, 50 of those. So it's really cheap. Some bloodstone dust that I have anyway way too much. And just like a little bit of gold. Like in total 33 gold for a completely free stat selectable ascended piece. Yes, it's obviously not the most, what can I say? It's not the absolute like best value item that you can get. You can get ascended amulets very easy for farming them, for example, for Living World Season 3 currencies and stuff like that. But if you're a new player and just want to get the best in slot straight away gear, this is the way to do it. So this is the first item that you want to go here for. Then you do this 4 more times. And that's it. You know, just put everything in. Just a little bit of gold. You will see that in a second. No currency from PvP or anything. You can just play whatever you like and just invest 30 gold and you will get it. And then you combine those 4 items that I just crafted here, again in the Mystic Forge, together and get an ascended amulet. You know, this vial of salt amulet, where is it? There it is. Let's just clean up the inventory for a second. This amulet, ascended amulet with stat selectable stats. Yeah, you can customize it and get every single stat that is in the game. If you have all the expansions. It's really good. It's really, really good. And of course, I will use that here for the stats, not like Berserker or something where you can get it quite easy from just a Laurel Merchant or stuff like that. No, I want to use this, for example, for Harrier's pieces, which can be a bit annoying to get, and like investing 30 gold for one-time ascended amulet that you can stat select is amazing. It's really, really good. And don't forget, if you ever, for whatever reason, want to go for the legendary amulet from PvP, this is the precursor for that. So if you really wanted to go for that, you can. You can. So that's what we're gonna do. Really, really good. So we select Harrier, and that's all we needed. Area stats, there we go. Let's talk about enrichments. So you can, of course, purchase amulets, ascended amulets, just for laurels here from the vendor, from the laurel merchant, but they only have the core stats. They don't have stats that are, so to say, bound to expansions, which is a little bit annoying because a lot of the cool expansion stats, for example, Harrier, is not in there. So it's a little bit like some of the meta stats you cannot get this way, but you can still purchase those enrichments here. You have 4 enrichments that you can get here and 2 more in World vs. World, for example. Those are amazing. Why is that? Those enrichments, they take up your slot in the amulet, the ascended amulet only. You cannot put those in exotic amulets. However, they are only used for this. So you cannot put any infusions in there. You can only put in enrichments. So it's not a wasted slot by any means. You cannot have anything else in there. and you only have 4 possible things that you can put in PvE that have an effect. You can have the 20% gold from monsters that only affects the loot that you get directly from kills. So if you kill a risen undead mob and they drop like 80 copper, this will be increased by 20%. So they will drop 1 silver instead. Or like almost 90 something silver. Yeah. So this 90 copper. And this is like a good thing if you really want to grind a lot of mobs and you know they drop a lot of gold, but typically that's the worst one here, just straight up. Then you have Magic Find, just increases the rarity of your loot and affects some bags, not a lot of them, but some. So that's a very good one as well. And then you have the Experience Enrichment, which just gives you 20% more experience from kills directly, which is currently really good in the Labyrinth. Or for example, a lot of meta events like Living World Season 4 farms where you kill thousands of mobs. All of them have 20% more experience for you. So that means you can level up your mastery faster and you can level up, for example, your spirit shard gain. So that's a really good enrichment. I would say that's the best one of those so far, if you are specifically farming for spirit shards. Then you have the Karma enrichment, which is, I would say, the most universally useful one, because karma is something that you cannot farm that easily, and you will either have way too much karma lying around or you will have way too little karma lying around. If you have in characters that you don't use in specific things, this will just always be a useful thing because you will get karma in almost any game mode. So karma is just a little bit increased. So I personally will now go for the experience one so that I can level my stuff faster. And I don't need Magic Find that much and Karma here on this account. And the cold one is completely useless for me in this. So I will definitely go for the experience one, just for getting a little bit more value when I get some experience and kill a lot of mobs, for example, in the Labyrinth, and can farm my Spirit Shard gain and that kind of stuff faster. So you can just go to this guild enhancement guy here, bartender, talk to them and swap this to get more experience. And also swap this to other things, Magic Find, Karma and stuff like that. I think the experience gain for PvE is very good, and if you have a PvP character or play a lot of PvP, that can be good. And then of course you have the World vs. World experience buff, which is good for the person that just asked about how to get the level fast on your World vs. World. This is definitely a must then if you want to level very fast, and then you have the reward track boost. I'm just going for the experience one. I already struggled sometimes in tier 2. Yeah, it depends a bit. I'm playing a healer. That's probably the biggest reason why I decided to go for Mesmer in general, is because then I was able to play a healer, because I know for a fact that in tier 3 Fractals, one of the hardest things is that the group composition slowly starts to matter. You know, in tier 1, tier 2, you can play if you really wanted to with 5 DPS. That works, yeah. But in tier 3 and in tier 4, it's like, yes, you can make it work, but it's definitely way harder. And especially if you have inexperienced players and all of them playing DPS, no one is a healer, they will die very fast to attacks that happen and they will not dodge them or whatever. So playing a healer is already a big plus to carry groups. And if you then also know what you're doing, then it's probably quite likely that I will not have a big problem in tier 3 Fractals, because I can actually carry my allies through them with a lot of healing, a lot of boons, doing all the mechanics and stuff. But maybe I'm like a little bit too confident there. We will see if tier 3 Fractals are like completely crazy and I will not get them done very fast. But for now, I think that's the most likely scenario. Where can I get Ascended Trinkets without Living World Season 3 or 4? Yes, there are ways. You can purchase them, for example, from the Laurel Merchant. You can get Ascended Gear from that, especially Amulet and accessories. You can get rings from PvP, World vs. World, and Fractals. And you can get, where is it? The back piece. Back piece you can also get from Fractals or PvP. So there are multiple ways where you can, or even PvP, World vs. World as well. So there are multiple ways to get those. I think the easiest is still Living World Season 3 to farm them, because they will allow you to get a lot of different, like, map currencies that you then can spend on the specific item that you want, and they are all stat selectable, which is really nice. For example, the Laurel Merchant ones, they are not stat selectable, which can be a little bit annoying. So you really want to get the right set for that. But other than that, I think that's probably the best ways. I have, like I said, an Ascended Gear guide on my YouTube channel. You can check it out. It's very concise, tells you all the ways where you can get Ascended Gear. And of course, it covers also trinkets. Not only tells you where to get it, but also what's, in my opinion, the best way to get it. Yeah, The Living World, if it's again on promotion, I will definitely buy it here on this account because I already like have my eyes on that. But for now, I'm like a little bit more like looking towards stuff that is like acquirable for me right now without spending gold. But I think like the stuff I was already thinking about buying on this account here, the like a copper fed or like maybe the rune crafters or maybe even the, where's it, candy corn gobbler somewhere? Yeah, here. Those items, because they're so good, you know, even on a new account like this one, those are just so good items. So maybe I have to go for them and invest some gold for the long run because it's so good. It's so good. And I have some gold to spare right now. I have like almost 400 gold, so that's quite good in that regard. And I also can sell some candy corn bags here, I guess. Yep, there we go. Let's sell them. Almost 10 gold. Not too bad, not too bad. From your experience, is Strike LFG normal mode toxic, and do people quit after some failure? So I would say if you are playing the normal Strike missions, I would say the LFG is very not toxic. I think specifically Strike missions are, I would say, a niche where the content is so easy that like most groups can clear it, even if you have players in them that never did them, that they are just not that good. And no one cares because they are so easy, you will still get them. I would say there is some kind of toxicity or like gatekeeping going on if you go for the challenge modes. But if you specifically talk about the normal modes, I think the strike missions are very easy to get into and there's almost no toxicity. At least when I join groups, I think there's almost no toxicity. Sometimes because they are so easy, that's the negative side. If you fail like 2 times at a specific boss or 3 times, sometimes people leave because they are so easy, and in like 99.9% of the cases, you will not fail. If you are in a group that fails, that means the group is like horrible, like absolutely garbage. Then some people say I don't want to play with them. So I would say that's just something that happens. I want to go to this guy and purchase some Agony infusions. I can purchase 16. Okay, that's probably too much, I would say, but still. So I will purchase a few. And I think like maybe 6 or something. And then I will be able to like extract it as well, because for a new player you might have a +6 infusion or something that drops and you put it on your chest or whatever, and at some point you want to upgrade it, but you don't want to destroy the infusion, which would be the case if I would just double tap it or use it here. Yeah, it would say destroying the upgrade. I don't want to do that, so you can go to this guy, to this infuse 5959, and then you can go to this infusion extraction device here in the second to last tab. And if you have the mastery unlocked for fractals, you can then purchase those. I will purchase, I think, like 6 of those. And then you can extract the infusion. This will only extract infusions. It will not extract the rune. So it's not exactly the same item that you can get from the Wizard's Vault. The Wizard's Vault, you can get this item. Where is it here? This upgrade extractor. This upgrade extractor will extract any upgrade. So it will extract the upgrade in terms of sigil and infusion. But if you have this specific infusion extractor, it only extracts the infusion. So for me, that's good enough. But if you want to extract the rune, then get the one from Wizard's Vault. So let's extract some gear here. And then we can get the higher Agony infusions in there. +9 is completely fine if you have want to push to 150 Agony resistance. +9 infusions everywhere is completely fine. If you want to go higher for some more stats, that is a little bit more, how's it called? A little bit more advanced, but you can still easily do that. No, I'm streaming on Twitch and YouTube. So if you are on YouTube, you can easily ask questions there. If you're on Twitch, you can ask questions there, whatever you like, whatever suits you better. Okay, so I extracted all of those, +9, nothing, very good. And there we have 2 more. I still have to run the Celestial versions here. I'm not happy with that, but what can I do? I don't have the Harrier versions yet, and they are still ascended, so that's good enough. Let's equip the +9er infusions, very good. How do you get extra stats, like for example +5 power on those infusions beside Agony? So there are multiple ways nowadays to get this. So +9 infusions and +5 like stats, power, healing power, whatever. You can buy them from the TP, some of them at least. So if you go, for example, to, let's say, Ghostly Infusions, you can buy them from the TP. They cost like 70 gold. They have a specific look. They drop from raids. You can also purchase them from raid vendors. And they have those, yeah. If you can also go for the poly saturated infusions. They drop currently from Halloween. You can also do that. They also have a specific skin. So you cannot have those stats from this item here without having the skin on your character, so it turns you yellow or blue or something. But yeah, those are also a little bit expensive, but you can also like go really crazy and go for the Chuck Infusion. Yeah, those also have stats, yeah. But other than that, you can go to the Fractal vendor and go here to this tab, Attribute Infusion Creation or whatever, yeah. So here you can purchase those as well, but they are quite expensive. So it's like they cost a lot of, yeah, for example, those integrated fractal matrices. So it's not something that you can get like very, very easily or very cheap in that regard, but you can do it, yeah. And the last option, if you only want the stats and don't want the Agony resistance, you can go into World vs. World to a Laurel Merchant and then purchase the, where are they? Those infusions here in World vs. World specifically, because then in World vs. World you get the World vs. World stats, so +1 damage, +1% damage to guards or defense against guards, plus the stats instead of the Agony. So if you don't run fractals or don't want to use this character in fractals at least, then you are fine with those as well. But if you want to push high level fractals then and you want to still have the best in slots infusions, then you have to spend some gold there. That's how it goes, yeah. I need an ascended accessory, and there is sadly not the one that I like with like concentration in here. That doesn't exist here as far as I know. The best one that I can get is Celestial, which is quite annoying. It's not perfect, but I really want to get an ascended trinket here. And it's quite expensive here, but oh, what can I do? I really have to get it at some point. I could also be like absolutely giga chat and purchase a Berserker piece, because maybe I should do that, because in the future I might need a Berserker piece anyway. For example, for Power Chronomancer, if I want to play this here on this account. So I will double dip in that. I think that actually might be the smarter choice. It's obviously not the meta build. I would use full Harrier gear for that one. But maybe it's smarter to do that. There we go. And now we have it. And we can also equip the +9 Agony Infusion. And we are at the maximum that we need for tier 3. Very good. So 720 gems, it's quite expensive right now, but there are currently sales going on for items that I really, really want. So I will purchase some gems here, and that is quite expensive. It's really painful to do, but that's what we do. Because I need, what would you guess? I will go for the Candy Corn Gobbler. The Candy Corn Gobbler is such a good item that even on this new, rather fresh account, I want to get this item, and it's just so good. There we go, we purchased it, and we have it. And another thing that I want to purchase, while we are already at purchasing stuff from the gem store, you might have guessed it with 480 gems. It's the Rune Crafters. I will purchase the Rune Crafters and not the other two. That's specifically for this account. I will, of course, if you want to min-max everything, then you would get all 3 of those. The Silver Fat is like just quality of life. If you don't mind crafting the Mystic Salvage kits that I do all the time here, then that's completely fine. You don't need the Silver Fat. But the Copper Fat is very, very worthwhile. It's just very convenient, and it saves you a lot of time and just also money in the long run. So it's really good to get this one. The Rune Crafter is just the middle ground, which is really, really valuable if you have a lot of pieces of unidentified gear. Not the common one, but the normal one. And therefore, this is the item that I will go for. I will not purchase all of them now, maybe in the future, but right now I think this is a very, very good purchase for me here on this account. So there we go. We spend a lot of gold right now just for some quality of life upgrades, and they will also pay off in the long run. I'm pretty sure about that. You can change the stats of Ascended Armor quite easily. So if you have a specific armor piece here, yeah, like this one, and you want to change the stats from Harrier to Berserker, for example, then you need a Berserker inscription, an exotic Berserker inscription. So that would be something like Berserker and then crafting material, and then, for example, for that would be for armor and that would be for weapons. So something like 5 gold. You have to get this. You have to get the item from the that you want to change the stats in. And then let me quickly go out of this instance, because you need to go to a Mystic Forge vendor to actually, so I can showcase this. You need a specific item that is, I think, only used or almost exclusively used for this thing, which is called the Augur Stone. No, which is called the Anthology of Heroes. Exactly, that's what I meant. So 10 Spirit Shards to change it. This one you need. So you have this one, you have the item, you have the insignia or the inscription that you need, the exotic one, from the stat that you want to change it to. And the last part that you need is Ectoplasm, globs of Ectoplasm. Those 4 things together will cost you around, like, I don't know, 5 to 10 gold. There we go. Ectos, that's the last thing that you need. And those things together with 10 Spirit Shards, you can change that how many times you like. But of course, in the long run, it's better to get either the correct stats, both of them, on Ascended gear, or even get Legendary gear. Exactly. So this is 68. So we're actually not that bad. 68. I think we have a decent chunk of good players here, I have to be honest. We have Ferko here. That's probably better than the average tier 3 player. But we have actually quite experienced players. You can see they all have the Agony resistance already at the maximum, almost. Or not the maximum, but at 150. So I'm not completely sure if this is the average tier 3 experience. So I'm really sorry. I was just like listing the thing. So everyone can do that. It's your first time here. I mean, then it's good. Yeah. But I'm just saying, it's like, I don't care who joins. I'm just saying, for me, obviously, as a streamer, I might have a different experience than players that play it for their first time alone. That might be true. But don't forget, it does not really matter, because you can still play the same build that I'm playing. You can still get the same carry potential that I have. You just try to follow along or whatever and understand the fight, and you will get there this as fast as possible, because I don't want... Oh my god. I forgot that I don't have the Agony on the 7 set. Yeah, boosted player. No, that's why. I need more Ascended gear. I cannot swap to my focus weapon set because they don't have the Agony there. Absolutely boosted. And we are currently at almost the maximum. That's why the thing. Yeah. That's crazy. Yeah, Agony is painful. It's painful. Now I have the perfect Agony maximum that I need here, but as soon as I swap, I lose 18 Agony resistance, which will instantly kill me if I get Agony in this fight. Having played WoW and Final Fantasy with customizable UIs, yeah, I think customizable UIs for Guild Wars 2 would be a game changer, especially for new players. I would definitely say that. But I have to be like realistic here, and I think Guild Wars 2 has not become like any better in terms of customizable UI since the release of the game. So my realistic expectation there is that we will never get that. I think if they would be able to do so without too much effort, they would already have done that. I'm like almost 100% sure about that. So I think they should do it. I'm not saying they shouldn't. Just saying, for me personally, it seems like quite unlikely that they will ever give us customizable UI like in Final Fantasy or World of Warcraft. That's just not apparently in their scope. I think they should. I absolutely think they should. But I think it's like the game is like over 12 years old, 13 years at this point, and it's like if they would be able to do that, they would have done that at some point. I really think so. It sounds to me like very, very unrealistic if they say, yeah, we could have done that, but we didn't see the value of it. I don't see that. But yeah, there we go. Karka Queen done. There we go. That was its, I would say, one of the easiest mastery points to get in Corteria. Sadly, we don't have that many more. Krofma Valley is an interesting tech, for example. Absolutely. I think Krofma Valley is one of the coolest maps. I think sadly it's not a good incentive to go back there nowadays, because there is not a lot of stuff that is actually like quite rewarding in that regard. But I think the map itself is awesome. It has so many different small events, doesn't have a big meta event. If they would put out stuff like that has some kind of longevity in it, maybe some kind of tokens that you can gather from those events over time, which you then can purchase infusions that you can sell, or which you can then, I don't know, get the legendary from it. That would be awesome. I'm definitely with you there. I think you don't need a big meta event if the event itself or the events there have some kind of really fun interactive thing. Absolutely. So there we go. Get some new profit shards halfway through the next weapon. Not bad, not bad.